Did you know that there are over 28 million native speakers of Tagalog and around 20 million native speakers of Bisaya in the Philippines? With millions of Filipinos communicating in these two distinct languages, a debate has quietly brewed. Which one truly reigns supreme in the hearts and minds of the people? Language is the backbone of culture, shaping identities and creating connections within communities. In the Philippines, a nation of more than 7,000 islands, the diversity in language is as rich as its history. Tagalog, the basis of the national language Filipino, is spoken predominantly in the capital, Manila, and nearby regions. Bisaya, on the other hand, is a primary language in the Visayas and parts of Mindanao. Both languages carry immense cultural significance, but the question remains: Tagalog versus Bisaya, which language reigns supreme? Today we're diving into this linguistic rivalry, comparing the two languages head-to-head. We'll look at their histories, their unique characteristics, and explore the cultural pride that fuels this debate. While the Philippines is known for its unity and diversity, the conversation around language supremacy is a topic of contention. For decades, Filipinos from different regions have debated over which language is superior, often fueled by the political and social dominance of the Tagalog-speaking regions. Tagalog, being the foundation of the national language, is taught in schools nationwide and used by most media outlets. On the other hand, Bisaya, despite being spoken by millions, doesn't have the same level of representation on a national scale. This has led to a perception of language inequality. Bisaya speakers sometimes feel sidelined or pressured to conform to the more widely spoken Tagalog. But does one language really have to be superior to the other? Or is this rivalry more a reflection of the Philippines' regional diversity and cultural pride? Let's dig into the roots of these languages. Tagalog is spoken primarily in the northern regions of the Philippines, particularly in Metro Manila and its surrounding provinces. Its history dates back to pre-colonial times, when it was used by early Tagalog communities. In 1937, it was chosen as the basis for the national language due to its central geographic location and the influence of Manila as the political and economic hub of the country. Over time, Tagalog evolved into Filipino, the official national language, incorporating words from Spanish, English, and even local dialects. Today, it's the language of education, media, and politics. Tagalog's unique features include its system of affixes, which allow for the transformation of root words into various forms and meanings. For example, the root word ganda, beauty, can become maganda, beautiful, pagandahin, to beautify, and so on. It's a flexible and expressive language that has influenced Filipino pop culture from OPM, original Pinoy music, to blockbuster films. Bisaya, also known as Cebuano, is primarily spoken in the Visayas and parts of Mindanao. With roots tracing back to the Austronesian people, it is one of the most widely spoken languages in the country. Despite its large number of speakers, Bisaya has not achieved the same level of national prominence as Tagalog, but it remains the dominant language in the central and southern Philippines. Bisaya is known for its directness and simplicity. Unlike Tagalog, which uses complex affixations, Bisaya tends to use shorter, straightforward words. This has led to a stereotype that Bisaya is a harsher or more rugged language, but in reality, it's just as rich and expressive. It also has a vibrant culture of music, literature, and radio drama, although many of these have been overshadowed by the dominance of Tagalog-based media. At first glance, Tagalog and Bisaya may seem worlds apart, but they share many linguistic traits. Both are part of the Austronesian language family, meaning they have similar grammatical structures and vocabularies. For example, the word bahay in Tagalog, which means house, is balay in Bisaya, and kaibigan, meaning friend in Tagalog, is higala in Bisaya. However, the differences are just as stark. While Tagalog uses a lot of Spanish loanwords due to the long period of Spanish colonization, Bisaya has retained more native Austronesian vocabulary. The pronunciation also differs significantly, with Bisaya being more syllabic and often faster-paced compared to the more rhythmic tone of Tagalog. Culturally, both languages hold immense significance to their respective regions. Tagalog represents the political power of Manila, while Bisaya is the voice of the southern region's resilience and independence. This regional pride fuels much of the debate, as many Bisaya speakers feel their language deserves more national recognition. Now here's where things get interesting. Over the years, the rivalry between Tagalog and Bisaya has sparked debates both playful and serious. Some argue that Tagalog, as the national language, should be the default for communication throughout the country. Others believe that this marginalizes other languages, especially Bisaya, and limits the representation of regional voices. One particularly heated point in the debate centers around media and entertainment. Tagalog dominates television, radio, and film, leaving little space for Bisaya language content. While Tagalog speakers see this as a reflection of Manila's cultural influence, Bisaya speakers feel it as a form of exclusion. This has led to movements pushing for more Bisaya representation in national media, with shows like Kadogan sa Sugbo and the rise of Bisaya vloggers on YouTube giving a louder voice to the Visayan region. A memorable moment occurred when a Cebuano mayor publicly criticized the overuse of Tagalog in schools in Visayas and Mindanao, arguing that teaching in Tagalog alienated Bisaya students and stifled their cultural identity. This sparked a larger conversation about regional autonomy and language preservation, putting the linguistic rivalry in the national spotlight. In the end, the debate between Tagalog and Bisaya isn't about which language is better. Both languages have rich histories, unique characteristics, and are deeply embedded in Filipino identity. Tagalog, with its widespread usage and status as the national language, connects the nation on a broader scale. Meanwhile, Bisaya, with its proud cultural roots, keeps the heart of the southern Philippines beating strong. Instead of viewing one language as superior to the other, we should celebrate the diversity they represent. Each language is a symbol of regional identity and a testament to the resilience of Filipino culture. So, which language do you think reigns supreme, Tagalog or Bisaya? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out our next video where we explore the fascinating world of Filipino dialects and how they shape the country's culture. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on more deep dives into Filipino history, culture, and language.